listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Happy Endings After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Happy Endings After Show.
Hey there, AfterBuzzers. Yeah, Bing is for doing, and we are doing the Happy Endings preview show. So excited for the new season. Hi, I am Matt Lieberman.
And I'm Kelly.
And welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Kelly, we had a great second season last year.
Yes,
Third
we did.
season premieres next week. I'm so excited. I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What were some of your favorite moments from last season? We have so much to cover.
There were so many. Well, it was the year of Penny.
Yes.
So the year of Penny is coming to a close. So I'm, once we get into the new season stuff, I'm excited to see kind of where that goes. But watching her kind of, go through her year was fun for me. The whole Jane with the vision board, trying to bring everything to fruition.
She really grew a lot last year, I thought.
Did.
They all did in their own ways.
Yeah. I liked Max dating. I loved Grant. I was, sad that
I was really bummed that didn't work out.
But that was cute, kind of to see that whole other side of him and not, the dirty frat boy guy so much. But him kind of grow a little bit, and that was fun to watch. And, And Brad and Jane. I love Brad and Jane.
They're my favorite couple on TV. It used to be Marshall and Lily on How I Met Your Mother. Now I'm all Brad and Jane all the time. They're just so nutty and so crazy about each other and like just so sexually charged. They're just so funny.
Very funny.
Highly neurotic people.
So I love that. I think the Kirkovich Way was probably one of my favorite episodes.
Yes. That was so good. For those who don't remember, that was the episode where Jane and Alex tried to convince Dave that Alex and Dave did not sleep together by doing something that the Kirkoviches had been doing since many generations before, just skillfully lying and digging their way out of holes.
Yeah. They just make you believe something else.
Yes, exactly.
To see if you don't remember, really?
What? That's crazy. No, we were watching Streep. Well, I do love me some Streep.
But no, what was your favorite episode? There was a lot of good ones.
Oh God. I think my personal favorite, maybe the one right before that, where Brad and Jane are having sex dreams about Dave. He opens the speakeasy in his food truck to impress Colin Hanks, and he's lacing these drinks. And Brad is just so furious at Jane for having these sex dreams, and then he starts having them too.
Because why, they drinking like moonshine or
Yeah, no, it wasn't moonshine. It wasn't like paint thinner or something. I'm thinking about The Master, that P.T. Anderson movie, but it was some like lead or something was in the drink, and it was giving them all these crazy sex dreams. So funny. My favorite sequence of last season though had to be when Brad went to the dentist, and he had that elaborate dance sequence.
Yes.
It was just so awesome. And then they lean in there, what do you mean? You mean, ah. Yeah, and then it became sort of like they accepted the fact that they're sort of meta friends.
Right.
A little bit. With drugged out Brad in the back of the car, say, Chandler and Joey, Monica. Oh my God! You guys are my best friends.
That was yeah. We talked about that last season too. The whole reference to Friends and all of that, because this is kind of Friends for a little bit younger of a crowd.
I'd say that.
I think just the kind of situations that they're in, and not that when Friends started out they were necessarily a lot older than these guys.
No.
It was just a whole different kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Just everything that they're doing. I feel like this is a younger-minded kind of group of people, and especially the way that they handle certain situations and things.
I want to throw something out at you. A critic last season talked about New Girl being one of the first post 9/11 shows, where shows are starting to return to these, like, you know, lower stakes, more about character comedy, people relating to each other. And I think Happy Endings, which preceded New Girl, I think might have been the very first of this sort of like crop.
Well, I personally, and not to knock New Girl, I really like the show.
Yeah.
But it kind of had to grow on me a little bit.
Sure.
I thought at the beginning of that her character was a little too much over the top.
I wanted to throw my remote at my television sometimes.
And sometimes when that happens, you can't even get as far to get to know the character.
Yeah.
So it kind of stops you a little because it gets to be a little too annoying when it's too over the top. And I feel that they evened it out a little.
Yeah.
And the guys on that show have kind of, you know, balanced it out very well, but it had to grow to that. I feel like at Happy Endings, when I first started watching
organic. It was right there.
I loved everybody instantly. And they were all so different, but they fit so well together. I mean, and we give kudos to the writers all the time, and we had a lot of the writers in with us to chat about it last season. And I love the writing, and I love how relatable it is to, you know, to my generation.
Yeah.
You know, you know, the scene where Brad and Jane are in the elevator and it's, you know, Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day is playing. It's probably, you know, one of my favorite scenes. It's, you know, I think they just, you like these people, you want to hang out with these people, even, you know, the side characters that come in.
Yeah.
You know, that, you know, like the big, you know, the big wedding at the end of last season.
Yes.
You know, what was it, Derek getting there? You know, we want to see Derek.
Yeah, Derek
come
and
back.
Eric.
Yeah.
Derek. Yeah.
Loved him.
Yeah.
So, you know, we want to see him come back.
I love this show. In a way, they almost kind of, they break some of those rules that, like, you're not supposed to break, where they do a lot of references and they you know, they make up their own sort of catchphrases, but it all works. Like, I don't think anyone could ever possibly feel like they were on the outside of the joke, because they love these people so much. It's just, they're so lovable as characters. And I love the way, especially Alex, how she's grown since the pilot and found her niche. Alicia Cuthbert is just so funny on the show.
I love, and we talked about this too before, I love the fact that they didn't make her just be the hot girl.
Yeah.
That she is actually quirky, she's funny,
She's super
ridiculous,
goofy. Yeah.
And she's probably one of the more awkward out of the group.
Absolutely. And she can tackle a rack of ribs like nobody else.
Yes, she can. I think my favorite were her baby tees. When she tried to have the baby tees and all the teenagers came
and she just wanted to be popular. And they just, oh my God, it was like these little onesies.
And it's like these teenage girls are wearing them, the whole pack of Mean Girls. It was so not okay.
It's not okay.
But that's what I love about the show. They go there. They take it that extra, you know, and she's so doe-eyed and cute. And you don't hate her, even though at the beginning we find out, you know, she's the one that broke Dave's heart.
Exactly.
You know, so she was supposed, you know, she was kind of a bad guy at the beginning.
It's a testament to the strength of the cast and the strength of the writing that we not only forgot about it, it's like so long in the past. I don't think it ever really affected how I felt about her as a character. And like, just, I don't know, the relationships are so strong. I loved that they brought this sort of development of Penny potentially having feelings for Dave. I know it was a little controversial,
but it was
last
so
year.
Subtle, though.
Yeah,
it was very subtle. They didn't throw it in your face.
No, it came up twice last year. It came up twice. It was just a therapist putting the thought in her head, and she just let it gestate until, you know, in the finale we thought maybe something was going to happen. You know, we're tabling that for now, but it's something that happens in groups of friends. You realize, you know, I might be attracted to this person more than I let myself realize. And it's very complicated. It's not something that can just come out and you have a big blow up or you get together. It's something that it takes a lot to say that to a friend, to someone that you've known for years, since they were kids.
Right. And that's one thing that we've, you know, found out through the course of the show is they all have different relationships and how long that they've known each other. And, you know, Max and Penny dated. Yeah. Which is, you know, really funny. And
I love that episode where his
ex-girlfriend
comes into town and they have this just weird competition.
Because Penny's super jealous.
Yeah. You know,
but I love Penny and her awkwardness and you know, and she has a lot of, and all of these characters do. They have, you know, character flaws and we can actually relate to them, and they all have, you know, self-esteem issues or, you know, these different issues in different ways that they all kind of help each other kind of, you know, come out of, like the V-neck intervention.
Which was so funny. But no, just V-necks make him feel safe. When he was a kid, people would bully him, and with a V-neck, he could slip out of it and run away. And like, I almost felt like at the time, it was like, where is this explanation coming from? But it felt so real to me. They're all very vulnerable, which makes them real. You know, with the whole Max and Grant thing, we saw vulnerability there that I think we continue to see over the course of the season that we hadn't seen from Max. He puts up the most walls, I feel, of just about anybody. You know, maybe Jane would say that she would, but she's so loony that you can see right through them.
But she's more of a control freak.
Yeah.
Though. She's that type A personality.
Yeah.
But Max is more, he's guarded. He's a little more hidden, and he's not your typical gay character. And I really liked that a lot about the way Adam plays him.
Absolutely.
You know, Adam Pally that plays Max. I like that he kind of, it doesn't, you know, necessarily go one way or the other. He's just a dude.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a dude
who loves dudes.
Yep,
and that's that. Which is just so awesome. You don't see enough of that, except for maybe like on the Sarah Silverman program a few years ago. But this is really the only other example I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, most characters you see are either really, really flamboyant. You know, that's always something that you know right off the bat.
Yeah, somebody's playing gay, or it's playing it up, or you know, Modern Family, like they're very natural, but it's still they're types we've seen.
Right. I think that this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's just, it gave it a little bit of a different kind of edge to it, and I really like that about, you know, about that character.
Yeah. And this whole show, the humor has edge, I think, in a way that it doesn't necessarily play safe, especially for an ABC show, which kind of makes sense why it's being paired with Don't Trust the Bee and Apartment 23. They both are a bit raunchier, and they play a lot more with dialogue. I mean, one of the things that I love the most about Happy Endings is how improvisational it feels.
Well, and we found out from, you know, last season for our AfterBuzz show, we had Adam Pally and Zach Knighton that each called in at different times. And, you know, they told us that they actually do improv a little bit. I mean, you know, because they get different versions of the script and they go through it and they do hundreds and hundreds of takes, and sometimes it's the improv that makes it in. And when we had the writers in, the thing that I like about this group of people is, you know, there's no ego there. They don't seem, at least that's what they were telling us, but they don't seem to be offended by that because they all appreciate each other's talent.
They're just trying to make the best show that they can.
Absolutely. And especially in, you know, with sitcoms and stuff, I mean, there are tons and tons of writers. So for your episode to get, you know, for your writing to get chosen to be in the episode is a really big deal.
Yeah. And
so I could see why you don't necessarily want somebody messing with that too much.
Absolutely.
But, you know, but you also want to let the talent, you know, kind of go with it and make it even, you know, because even a small little twist to something, and, you know, they talk to us about that, which I think is, you know, it's great because it's just, that's what makes the character, I think, more rounded.
Yeah.
Is when they have the, you know, when they are allowed to do that.
It makes them feel more real, really. You know, it's whatever's the most natural thing that can come out of an actor's mouth, I think produces the highest quality performance. You know, I mean, one of my all-time favorite shows is Friday Night Lights, and that was one of the very first shows where actors could feel free to kind of twist the lines however they needed to make them feel real. And that's how I feel like Happy Endings is. As a comedy, you know, I never doubt these people for a second, and I never doubt that they're friends, and I know that they're friends offset as well. You know, they're a very tight group from what I've heard anyway. Right.
Yeah, and they seem to be, and I think also what's very great about this show is that there's not necessarily a standout.
Yeah.
It seems that the storylines get divvied up pretty evenly. So we get to know all of them pretty equally, and they're all such talented people anyway, and they're, you know, they work so well as a unit. I like that it doesn't necessarily have like the one person in the forefront.
Absolutely. You know, and it's not afraid to take risks with the characters. At the end of last season, you know, Brad lost his job. It's really going to change the dynamic of his marriage to Jane, which I'm really excited to see this season.
Right.
You know, it doesn't have to always be a romantic change. They're not sitting on their laurels, these writers, in giving these people fresh stories to play.
Right. I mean, Max bought a limo for extra cash because he doesn't want to get a real job.
No, and he kept it, and they keep finding new and creative ways to do that. You know, with Valentine's Day, he had the package with the hot tub. dragging behind his limo.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
And
was so
that's
funny.
how, he ran into Grant
Exactly.
again. And that's how that whole thing started. And, Alex had, the whole Valentine's Day Massacre episode was hilarious.
It was a really great episode.
When Alex got mistaken for a prostitute.
No, and I'm thinking of the Halloween episode where she got mistaken for a drag queen.
Oh, yeah.
She gets mistaken a lot. Always.
Again,
Yeah.
and they don't play up that she's supposed to be the hot one, and
No.
they always put her like in the restaurant with her face messy eating.
Exactly.
That is what I love. Like and I think this is her first comedic role.
It is.
So she's really kind of going at it and
Yeah.
really wants to get deep in there.
She's
and is not
playing against
afraid.
type and is just fearless in pursuing, the ditzy moments or like the less than glamorous moments, and she's just so good at them.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take a moment to talk about iTunes,
Mm-hmm.
if I may. AfterBuzzers, please like and subscribe on iTunes. Please leave us comments. We love you. You're our lifeblood. You're the reason why we do this show. Tell a friend that we're doing this show, and please continue to watch us. We love having you.
Yes, download for free. You can subscribe for free, and you can join in the conversation with us and tell us what you think about, last season and what you hope to see for the new one.
Absolutely.
So we have a little bit of a preview that we
Yes.
want to share with you guys that is amazing. And
You mean Amazing?
no, that's gone.
It's
We can't-
gone.
No,
It's
gone.
over. We did it.
Amazing is no more.
It's dead.
What was that?
I got a bird!
White power.
The man is racist.
Marriage is between a man and a woman.
And a bit homophobic.
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
And that tears it for me.
Max, those were my Tibetan mood rings.
I'm sorry, Alex.
It's okay. Turns out I'm not that upset about it.
Again, love this show.
Yeah.
Who has a racist homophobic parrot?
I
Of course
certainly
Alex
do.
does.
Of course she does.
Of course she does.
Yeah. So let's start talking about season 3. There have been a lot of things released or leaked about the coming season that we know about.
We have a lot of spoiler alerts, you guys.
Yeah.
So if you're not really into it,
alert! Spoiler
Yes.
alert!
Yes.
don't get mad if we tell you something you didn't want to know.
Because we just told you, Sir Richard Wentworth just told you very loudly, get out if you don't want to know.
So this show has had some really great guest stars.
Yes.
The parents have been fantastic, and I have been very anxious to meet the Kirkoviches.
Yes.
And I am very, very excited by this casting choice.
Please lay it on me.
So Jane and Alex's dad is going to be played by the amazing Christopher McDonald.
Yes.
Happy Gilmore is my favorite. I think
Is it really?
It is.
Yeah.
Shooter McGavin will live forever.
And they're like, it just makes so much sense because especially Jane is just so very sort of waspy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see that. I'm really, really stoked.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. And
He's a very high status guy.
yes, and their mother is going to be Julie Haggerty, who was on Airplane.
Oh
If
my
you
God.
remember Airplane,
Yes, of
which
course.
she's fantastic. She also played Ryan Reynolds' mother in Just Friends, and she was amazing.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. So
They
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, they get amazing people on this show. Fred Willard, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and Megan Mullally, whose appearances last season were just so awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think with Julie Haggerty, it's going to be great because if you are familiar with the characters that she plays, it gives you an idea of where Alex gets her quirkiness from.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
I really hope that they come back again and we get to see some more parental mixing like we did with Dave's dad and Penny's mom. Not necessarily dating each other.
Right.
But, these kids all grew up. They all grew up together. So these parents all know each other and
Right.
have opinions about each other. And I'd love to see more of that color.
Well,
You know
and
what I
one
mean?
thing that we found out is that apparently Jane's dad is very hard on, he doesn't really like anybody. He doesn't really
Yeah.
approve of anybody. So Brad's kind of given up. He's over it. He's not trying to impress this man anymore.
Yeah.
So just kind of see that interaction in the way Brad is, especially him not having a job now.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna be.
He's going to be
yeah.
really on the defensive, And now, of course, Jane is going to be getting a new job too, albeit briefly. She and Penny are going to be going car shopping, and Jane is going to be so addicted to wheeling and dealing that she lands herself a job at a car dealership at the Car Czar.
Love it.
Yes, played, of course, by
Rob Corddry.
Rob Corddry. I almost said Rob Hubel, and he's been on this show too, but I knew it wasn't, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that on my first Happy Endings podcast.
Already messing up.
Come on.
But Rob Corddry is hilarious and fantastic.
Yes.
And I had the pleasure of actually meeting him on a red carpet once,
awesome.
and his lovely wife, and they're just amazing. And if you're familiar with any of the online stuff he does, you definitely have to check it out because he's super funny. And we found out he's at least going to be on for 2 episodes.
Yes.
So we'll see how long her car dealership job lasts.
We'll see a little development there, but I think that she'd be really good. She's just so aggressive. She's just so aggressive. I feel like she would throw you into that car and not let you leave until you put down a down payment.
Well, I saw an interview with her and Damon Wayans Jr., and they were kind of talking about her new job a little bit and asking if she was going to kind of bring her type A personality in. And, she said, there's going to be a lot of kind of weird things that go on at that dealership.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah. I know Damon Wayans Jr. said in a red carpet interview that Brad may be getting a puppet at some point this season.
Yes.
Yes.
His name is Sinbrad.
Sinbrad, which is the greatest name of anything ever. I will shout it from the rooftop, Sinbrad.
Yes, Sinbrad. And he also gets a special guest credit for it because he's the ventriloquist voice of Sinbrad.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Is he wearing a windbreaker?
He is totally looks like you guys will have to look it up online. We'll tweet the link out, but there's a picture of Brad and Sinbrad, and he's sporting a high top fro, and he's got total 90s geared out.
That's so awesome.
I'm excited to see this.
Yeah.
Let me see.
So we've got...
Yes, he has the high top fade. Sinbrad.
Awesome.
Excited for that.
So at the end of last season, we had the end of the year of Penny, but Penny is... Not all things are looking down for Penny. In fact, she may be getting a long-term boyfriend.
For at least 6 episodes, we know.
Well, hey, that's a lifetime. That is a lifetime in Happy Endings time.
So it looks like the season's going to start out with Penny being in a full body cast.
Oh, my God.
So we will see how that happens.
Yeah.
But I really wanted Brian Austin Green to come back. And if you remember, he had a leg cast.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering why are they in casts?
I don't know. Well, he was an extreme sports guy, so maybe she was trying to, be more like her man, or if they were dating or whatever, and then just... Whoops.
I don't know.
Tumble down a mountain.
I know that he's going to make another appearance back, and, we'll kind of maybe wrap that up, kind of see what happens with that. And then, coming in around episode 5 is going to be a new love interest for Penny, who is actually going to be played by Nick Zano.
Oh, wow. And he was on Two Broke Girls, yeah?
Yeah, he was on Two Broke Girls, and, he's been in a lot of stuff. And, it's not going to be love at first sight, though.
Yeah.
Penny, I think she's going to think she's a little bit too good for him at the beginning.
But that's good, because usually Penny, for whatever reason, finds herself chasing these guys that don't deserve her.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if he's hot, trust me, all of that. But I don't know if I'm going to like that dynamic.
Well, we will wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see. Because I don't know anything about his character really, so I'm excited to kind of see, what does he do for a living? Where is she going to meet him? What's going on? So.
What does the boyfriend of Penny that we actually see for more than an episode look like? What is it? Yeah.
Well, it's true, and we also hear that there is going to be another guest star that comes on, and she's going to be Max's replacement Penny while Penny is out of commission.
That sounds delightful.
But she turns out to be super psycho, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's like a single white female. Yes.
Her name is Nicole, but Max pronounces it Nickel because it's 5 times as much as Penny.
I like it. I like the logic. I see it.
Exactly.
There it is in the booth. Boomtown.
So, Max needs a friend to hang out with, kind of intermittent. Well, I know we find out since Brad doesn't have a job, there's going to be a lot more storylines with the two of them hanging out.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to form a new band because Mandana is no more.
Mandana is history, which is such a shame because their performance last season was spectacular.
I know, and I'm trying to find, give me a second, the name of the new band. Forgive me, I have too much information in front of me right now.
I'm going to vamp. I'm vamping. I'm a vampire of vamping. I will vamp so hard that you'll be vamp. And
Okay, now that I'm looking too.
Now you're looking for it. You can't find it. You can't find it.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to Dave and Alex, who left the end of last season holding hands. Shocker of the year. She left him at the altar. How can this work? How can this be?
I know.
How can
Well,
this
I think
be?
we need it though, because we didn't really get, little by little throughout this last season, we kind of found a little bit about the relationship, but we really don't know what happened.
Yeah, we came in at the end.
Yeah, so we don't know what happened. We didn't really get a whole breakup or anything, and they haven't really rebounded with anyone. Not
I know,
really.
but I'm worried about them.
I don't think it's gonna last. I think it's gonna be, when you break up and you kind of get back together, then you break up and then you remember why you broke up.
But it wasn't just a breakup. It wasn't a divorce. So yeah, it was a breakup. But
I'm hoping that we'll get some answers and find out why she rollerbladed out of there.
That's true. And knowing this writing staff, they wouldn't take this turn if it wasn't for good reason. And
That's true.
The good reason being great character development. So
we'll see.
We'll see something.
Well, and I like that it kind of puts on hold the whole Penny and Dave thing.
Yeah.
Let's let Penny kind of branch out, date a little bit more. She bought her new condo last season. She's kind of coming into
getting a new
her own.
car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's let her, kind of morph into that grown up she wants to be a little bit more.
Exactly. Because once they pull the trigger on Penny and Dave, that's either till the end of series or it's going to be a major development if they break up. Like, it's going to be hard to revert to, we're just happy having fun and dating after that happens.
Well, and that could be detrimental to their group.
Absolutely. And we don't want to fracture them.
No. So I like that they kind of have gone this way instead of jumping into that Penny and Dave thing, because it was very controversial. A lot of people didn't like it, and all that. So, we'll kind of see where that goes. But I don't think it'll last too long.
Okay.
We'll see. And then there was talk about a possible Apartment 23 and Happy Endings
crossover episode,
which I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
I love that James Vanderbeek is playing a twisted out version of himself.
Yes.
Kudos to him.
I can agree with you there.
Hilarious.
I think they need to find a way to balance that with the rest of the show. It's a very funny show, and I think they're starting to figure out what it's about from what I've seen of the new season. So I'm very excited about that. I think that any crossover episode they do would be great. I think that that Brad and Max would freak out if they met James Vanderbeek.
Well, here's some of the ideas floating around that TVGuide.com was reporting on.
Hit me.
That at the end of one of the episodes in this season, we'll catch the gang watching Dawson's Creek, and they're going to be like, "That was such a good show. Whatever happened to that guy?" Referring to James Vanderbeek.
Exactly.
And they each have some theories about what he's doing, and then it'll go right into Apartment 23, and we'll kind of see what he's doing. And then there's a couple other things that they're maybe finding out that, since James Vanderbeek's character on Apartment 23 is on a Dancing with the Stars tour, that they'll come to Chicago and he'll all of a sudden be running into Alex everywhere.
Okay.
And then a possible kind of love connection, and Max gets jealous and tries to break it up because they spread a rumor that James Vanderbeek is gay. So this whole thing, and that's a whole
big thing. I can see it now. I can see it.
I mean, it's playing out in my head, and I can see that happening.
I like that better than the first one because that's really more of like a through line than it is a crossover.
Right.
But definitely exciting times for Don't Trust the Bee and Happy Endings fans.
I like that pairing. I think it's definitely going to work.
I think it's definitely the most interesting of them because we don't want to see Penny chase after the James Vanderbeek of that show.
Right.
I think him and Alex would definitely be very, very funny. I do want to talk really briefly about AfterBuzz. We've got 50 different shows.
Including an after show for Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23.
Yes, airing weekly, which is astounding. 1.5 million daily downloads, 11 million a week worldwide. So if you love Happy Endings, you probably love another show that we do an after show for.
Absolutely. There's the new fall season is out. Tons of great shows. Revenge is back.
Yes.
There's Nashville that just started that people are loving.
Yeah. The Walking Dead just started again this weekend. We've got Homeland going and Dexter.
90210 is back. Gossip Girl.
Absolutely. So if you love our show, take some time, check out some of the other shows for the shows that you watch. I guarantee you will have a great time listening to them or watching them. and definitely keep coming back for our show as well.
Absolutely. So Brad and Max are going to launch Boys to Menorah.
Boys to Menorah? Are you kidding?
No.
That's awesome. You heard it here first. That's awesome. Now, let's take a look at this.
Now, this is interesting because if you check out the poster that we just put up for you guys to check out, the new poster for Happy Endings, look at the positioning of everyone.
Oh, you can see it right there.
See right smack in the middle, that little love triangle that they were teasing us with last season. So, you know, maybe it is going to come back.
I think it's definitely going to come back, but probably not till mid-season.
Right, or, you know, maybe a cliffhanger for the end or something like that.
Something like that. But I don't think that they can really get out of this season, you know, without having a significant development there.
Right.
You don't want that to be a red herring. You can't leave it for too long. But it's definitely going to be a lot of fun to see.
Well, definitely just in time for the holidays. One of my favorite things that I'm looking forward to, aside from Thanksgiving dinner itself, is going to be the Thanksgiving episode of Happy Endings, because we are going to get some flashbacks of the past, and we are going to find out that, again, big spoiler alert, that Brad...
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Sir Richard
Get
Wentworth.
this, that Brad and Jade met on the Real World Sacramento.
Yes! That's fantastic.
How amazing is that going to be?
Oh, God. I love this show so much. How has it been gone this long?
I know.
The finale was back in April, and we're not getting anything until next week.
I can't, yeah.
It has been 6 whole months.
So long. And I mean, we're going to see that... We're going to see flashbacks. And if you remember from last season, they kind of did a flashback to them when they were younger. And, you know, Jane was all Gwen Stefani'd out with the pink hair and all that. So we'll see a little bit more of that. Brad, I think, has crazy dreadlocks.
Oh, yeah.
And then also in the Thanksgiving episode, apparently Dave's wallet and car get stolen by pilgrims.
By pilgrims? Like real life pilgrims?
I don't know. We'll see if that, well, I don't know. You know,
Happy
we'll see.
Endings, you crazy hamster, you. I don't know why I called you a hamster, Happy Endings.
I'm really,
You're not a hamster.
excited for next week.
Yeah.
So, and we'll have, hopefully our whole crew will be back with us next
all
week.
4 of us should be here next week.
Yeah. So make sure to go to iTunes, download us, leave comments. You can comment on YouTube as well. We want to know what you think. We want to know, you know, what are you excited about? Because I'm excited.
It's going to be a great season. Let your friends know. Let's get everybody around the computer to listen to this podcast. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for listening. I am Matt Lieberman on Twitter. That's at MATTLIEBERMAN. And as always.
And you can find me at Kellie with an IE 079.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Good night.
And don't forget to follow AfterBuzz at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter.
Please do. Please and thank you.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.